And hello, welcome.
Yo, how's it going?
I'm good. I love your background. Looks nice with
Yeah,
the car and everything there. You're
my
home.
house nice and comfy downstairs.
You're finally home after, I reckon, a very busy weekend.
Yes, it's been a busy couple of days. I actually just got in the door home, perfectly timed for this, so that's what we want.
It was very well timed. How was your Hats Off festival this year?
Hats Off was good. I really enjoy the singer-songwriter element that you
Yeah.
find at Hats Off. It's a little colder than January, but it's nice because you can kind of go inside, snuggle in, and hear some stories, which I'm always a big fan of.
How nice is it to be able to put a jumper on in Tamworth?
Yeah, no, that's true. Because you can only take off so many clothes. You can keep layering up
Yeah.
as much as you need when it's cold.
Exactly. No, I remember. Remember when they had the Tamworth Festival in April, thinking, how nice would that be able to do a red carpet in April or winter and not feel like you're going to melt and try to keep everything perfect for that red carpet and then for the awards.
Yeah, that's so true. I heard that was a very nice festival,
Yeah,
just temperature-wise.
yeah, everybody was saying that. Yes, but we love Tamworth. No matter what time of year it is, we're all hooked, and we all go back every year, don't we? At least once, but often twice if we can get there for Hats Off.
Very, very true.
Now, I was saying to you before we went live, we like to sort of hear on the show a bit about you and your musical journey and how you got into music, how you got to where you are at the moment.
Hmm.
I know that this is your first release since 25, which sounds like not that long ago, but we're 7 months into this year. So tell us how you got to where you are at the moment.
Well, I started off, playing little gigs around my area as you do when you're starting off. I'd busk a little bit in the park and I'd
Yeah.
hop around the different pubs and venues, and I then actually made my way over to Tamworth for the first time. It was quite a couple of years ago now. And it was actually the place my parents had met, and so we went as a bit of a family trip. And after that, after I gotten the taste of that festival, I started to branch out a lot more, meet a bunch of new artists, and that triggered me to focus a lot on my writing and then go to more festivals and travel out more and more and eventually come to be where we are right now.
And you can't give it up now. It's part of you, isn't it? Like it's just
Yeah, no, I'm
not
addicted.
a choice now. Yeah.
Can't help it. Can't escape it.
No, now you're in. It doesn't matter what happens. It's part of you. I know. It's something that I think all of us that go every year to different festivals and in the industry, it's not a choice anymore. It's I have to do it. um,
100%.
but I was looking at and reading into some of the things that you've done, and I was really interested because it said that you'd been a 3-time graduate of the Country Music Academy. That is not common. Like that's not common that you hear people. So you've obviously taken away a lot from that. Tell us how that came about, and has the 3 times have you taken away different things each time?
The first time I went to it, it was as a result of me going to Tamworth for the first time.
Yeah.
I had somebody contact me. It might have been Lynn, might have been one of those lovely people, and told me to come along, and so I did. And I then a little bit later went through and did the instrumentalist course on the piano, and then came back again as a senior a couple of years ago and did that too.
Yeah,
It's good for meeting people. I found the
yeah.
community around country music in general and the different festivals I've been to is just really wonderful to have that and to be able to build that was great.
It is a really good way to build connections, but also people that have such similar interests and similar experiences. I've never heard of someone walking away from an academy experience saying I didn't take something home. It's such a special academy. I don't think there is one like it in the world. Um, so I'd imagine to go 3 times that would have been pretty special.
Yeah, it was really good, and I still am good friends with most of the people who I met at the academy all those years ago. So yeah, it's done me good.
It has goods. I love it. Now, I know we're here to talk about your current single, but I was hoping we could touch a little bit on your album that you released and how that went for you for debut album, all the things that you get from that album, and how I sort of wanted to work about how it felt releasing this time after having that album out, and did it make it more difficult to release? Did it make it easier? All the different album release
Mm.
moments.
Yeah, well, with my first album, it was my first time recording that big of a
Yeah,
chunk of music. I'd never recorded a full album before, so it was a bunch of firsts. And
yeah,
so trying to figure out and kind of pave the path of what works best for me and what doesn't was really the goal of it all. And um, so I went out and I had this really busy period where I was going around co-writing. I was finishing my HSC at the time, and I was trying to finish recording a full album and then release them all. Um, and fortunately for me, it went really well, and I had a lot of positive feedback for it, which was really lovely. And I felt like I learnt a lot. And
yeah.
I then, with this album, I have stretched out a fair bit, I think. I've gone and met a bunch of new artists and done a lot of co-writes with people in a little bit different genres and slightly different music. So like a little bit more folky, some of the songs
Yes,
on this album are, and there's some songs that are a little bit more old time music. And I think with this one, I've just been able to kind of see my growth and development and try some new things as I improve my music and tell more stories of things that are going on with me.
that's what I love. And Kaz, I know that, and everyone, Chris is in the room, Jonathan, Kaz, Jeffrey, has heaps of people in the room that have probably heard me say this before. But for me, when I watch an artist, and especially, loving to get to watch from the early stage of an artist right through their career, and you play those first singles or first albums and you listen to it in the order, the growth and the change in the artist, it's like a diary recording where you're at in those times. And
Mm.
that was the reason I wanted to ask that question is, it is your first. And I guess your first, you don't have anything to compare it to. But now you're releasing again. And I was wondering if it put more pressure on you or if it just gave you more confidence to, yeah, stretch out and do different things.
I
Um,
think I'm pretty good at not putting too much pressure on myself for the albums. I mean, my first time around, it was my first album, so it was okay to make mistakes, and everything was just kind of a learning thing. So it was never gonna do everything perfect. And this one, I mean, I kind of have a little bit of a better understanding of how everything works and how I like to go about recording and who I like to
mhm.
work with and things like that. And there's probably a little bit more nerves in it now. I mean, I haven't released the album yet, so haven't hit the peak of the nerves yet. But a little bit more nerves in the trying to learn and trying to continue doing something interesting and improving. But I've had a pretty good time with it all. So I've been really happy with how this album has come out, and so that's given me some confidence to be pretty relaxed with it.
I love that. It's you've got to. I like how you are so relaxed with it and enjoying it. It sounds like you're not wasting the opportunity or nerves. You're actually just enjoying the moments that it's bringing.
Yeah.
Which is lovely. And I know that we're going to talk a bit more about the single, but you were saying that you've reached out to do a little bit more co-writes with other genres. Was that difficult? Did other genres welcome that? Was it hard to get people to start doing that? Because I know country artists, we often all know each other in sort of the Australian genre, whereas reaching out, we might not always cross paths as easily as we do with people in the same genre.
Yeah, well, I didn't. When I say stretch out to different genres, it was still very much music that I'm aware of and I've played before and I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit different to what my first set of music was, and so luckily for me, I knew people like
Mhm.
Felicity Dowd, who I'd co-written
Oh,
a song on my
wonderful.
first album
Yes.
with, and Kelly Cork and
Yes.
Esther June, who is a artist who lives all the way over in Nashville, Tennessee, who actually co-wrote my title track of my album that this song's connected to. With all of these people, I was able to do co-writes with, and then find a little bit of a blend between the music that I play and music that they play, which I think helped me add some more interesting points in the
Yes.
album and to try something new.
That I love hearing all these things. Now I know you are sitting there with your guitar. Are you still happy to do a song for us?
More than happy, of course.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to give you the room and we'll come back and we'll chat some more about the current single.
Sounds good. Let's give that a run. This song is one that I co-wrote with Esther June, who I was just saying before. It was about a lady that she met in church and some younger guys who were being a bit cruel to her, a bit mean to her. And it got us thinking about kind of getting older and times changing, and called it What Time Wouldn't Do. One day when you're sitting in your church on a pew, with no one to listen or sing beside you, your hair's gone back and the gray's shining through. Oh, it's funny to think about what time wouldn't do. Oh, you'll notice your boys are looking more like you do. And the end of the day seems it's coming too soon. And the flowers you laid only last until June. Oh, it's funny to think about what time would do. And all you can keep is that boy you once known. Threw down his keys as he walked out home. He built out a life, now he's already grown. Oh, it's funny you think we ain't lasting too long. When the best of your days seem so long ago, and the memories faded and set in stone. Will you end just end up alone. Oh, it's funny to think we ain't lasting too long. No, you can keep it as all you once known. Threw down his keys as he walked out alone. Built out a life, now he's already grown. Oh, it's funny to think we ain't lasting too long. When the shores drifted off and there's rust in your bones, when you're down with the dust now and nobody knows, when the living it stops and the sun finally blows. Oh, it's funny to think we ain't lasting too long. Oh, it's funny to think I'm the end of the road. Oh, it's funny to think that we're just growing old.
Wow. What a beautiful song, and lyrics are incredible. I'm a bit of I love to hear a song from its in its full recorded version, but I love it when you get to hear it stripped back and just, you know, you and your guitar and really get to focus on the lyrics of the
I'm
of the
just
song.
the same, yeah. I love hearing the acoustic version. Thanks for letting me play.
Thank you
Nice
so much.
nice
What a
to do.
beautiful song. That is the title track of your upcoming album.
It
That
is indeed.
incredible.
Time wouldn't do.
Now, your current single, which will also be on the album, Stick Poke Tattoos. Tell us how this one came about. It's a great song.
Well, thank you. It came about after a Tyler Childers concert. I'd gotten home and I was feeling like doing some music, and I was feeling inspired to write something. And a friend of mine was telling me about this relationship that he'd been in for a couple of weeks and was having some struggles with. And so as I was sitting and listening to what was going on with him, I kind of had this chorus idea that I'd written down whilst talking to him, and over the next coming weeks, I'd hear more about what was going on with him, and he'd tell me a little thing, and I'd write a little verse, and he'd tell me another thing, and I'd write another little verse. I'd go back and forth, and as other friends of mine told me what was going with them and their relationships, it slowly just became this ball of problems. And it became this
Okay.
song, which was Stick
What a
Poke.
great way to write a song. What a really interesting way to write a song too. Doing it with different people and different experiences into the one, but at different times, like going away, writing a part and then coming back. When you were doing that, was that the intention that it was going to be that one song, or were you writing a verse and not really sure whether it was going to end up as more than one?
I often, when I'm sitting and writing, I'll have like a melody in mind, or a rhythm in mind with the words, and over like a week, I might sit and write different, like lines and verses, and like I could tie them all together, and I'd have a 400 line song. But usually I usually grab the parts that are similar in like ideas or concepts or thought behind them, and I then grab that and write a song using those pieces.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I love that. I love hearing how songs come about so differently for every artist, which would also make it very interesting when you are doing a co-write, because you've got way that you write, and then you're bringing different people in, which also would have their own individual ways of doing it. Did you find that hard to start with, or was it something that just because you've done academy and you've probably done a lot of co-writes that way?
I find it's a completely different mindset writing with somebody else and writing on my own, because you can't sit and write it. You don't really sit and write a song with another person over a month or 3
Exactly.
months or something. You're sitting
Yeah.
down in a day and knocking that out, and so it's a good practice, I find, for me to do something a little different and give it a try. And I get songs out of it which are interesting, and so yeah, it
Yeah.
probably was a little bit of a struggle. It always is, trying to be genuine with somebody and tell them
Yeah.
the secret intricacies behind a song, but it's probably good for me. So I
Well,
do
that's
it.
exactly right. You've been quite vulnerable, aren't you, when you're talking to someone, because you have to be quite open about it to really get the feeling of what's going on out there. So that's a really, there's so many layers to that I hadn't thought of yet. How vulnerable you've got to be with these people, and you might not know each other as in depth at times, depending on how long you've known and where you've met and that sort of thing. But quite often a co-write can come from just a random meeting or someone recommending an artist to write to. So you don't have that relationship yet, so that it would be quite scary at times.
Yeah, which is why it can be easier to write with people that you've known for a long time,
Yeah.
because I write usually very like straight stories of things that have happened, like one to one, in a
Yes.
poetic way. Um, but no, it's good. I co-write pretty often. Sometimes I'll sit with my friends on a train home and write a song with them.
Oh,
It's just a
wow.
good practice to do.
Yes. Yeah. And it is a practice skill, isn't it? I used to say I'd have some young artists that were, just really learning the very basics of it. And I remember when I was younger, I was told to, the number plates on cars, think of some words that go with those letters and think of different words. And that was a skill that I was told to practice, and it works. Like it is a
Yeah.
practice skill. And still today, you see a number plate and random words will pop into your head, or but those things are what often develop because it leads to something in time. It just makes you think differently.
Yeah, I do enjoy those kind of word games. I do them pretty often. I'll sometimes sit with my guitar and loop chords and make up stuff off the top of my head, or I'll get words, I'll get weird words and try and create like as many rhymes as I can from a
Yes.
word, like salty dog, poultry, trot, multi-stop. Like I'll keep going.
Lots of, yeah. I love
Stuff
those
like that.
things.
It's good to keep me thinking about stuff and keep my mind active,
Yeah.
running around.
Yeah. It is.
So
It's the same as when you do your vocal warm-ups. It's a warm-up. It keeps your mind, it keeps your body ticking over. Everything needs to be kept going. Otherwise you
yeah,
can't think ahead.
quiets the
Um,
voices.
yes, it does, that's for sure. I wanted to talk to you too about the artwork for your current single. It looks
Yeah.
like, tell us how that came about as well. I love the artwork and I love hearing stories behind them.
This actually, I did a bit of a photo shoot around a abandoned hospital near where my grandparents live. So I went out and I found this little hospital that I liked, when I was just going on a walk around, and I went through and walked around, and it had all sorts of graffiti and different cool looking architecture that I thought was nice, and I thought it'd be cool to go take some photos, and so grabbed some devices and grabbed some family members, and we went
Yes.
along. We spent an afternoon. I spent a couple of days just sitting there writing in the abandoned hospital, and so brought them along and took a bunch of photos, and I quite liked this one just
Yeah.
because of the framing, I guess, and the colors,
Yeah.
and yeah, the spot that it was fitting in, and yeah.
And the graffiti that, like, to me, when I first looked at your artwork, I guess, and I always pick a song apart by listening to different parts of a song, but also I don't read the press release until after I've listened to it. But I'm the same with the artwork. I like to look at the artwork if I can before I listen to the song sometimes. So you get your own thoughts of that from different layers. But when I looked at this one, my first thoughts were, I liked the graffiti, I loved the angle, I loved the backdrop, but I also was thinking, like, what stories does that building right there have to tell? Like, it just made you want to investigate it more, I think.
Yeah. I think
And
the environment fit very well into the music that I write and the kind of vibe and feeling that I try and give with my music. So yeah, I was really happy when I found it.
it's sometimes you've just got to take those moments, don't you?
Mm. Yes.
And enjoy it when you're there. Get that photo. You think, oh, I'll come back, but you got to get it when you're there, and just do it, because that's when you get these amazing shots. So Stick Poke and Tattoos, it's been out for 5 days, 6 days. What day are we today? Yeah. How did it go? How did you feel Friday before release? And have you had a lot of comments since then?
Oh, it's always nerve-wracking the day before you release a song because you want everyone to like it and you want it to go
Yeah.
perfect and you want it to be the song that makes you $1 million and is the
Yes.
best song in the world.
One day we'll find that song.
One day. But I released the song and it's so far done really, really well. I think it's just ticked past 3,000 streams in a couple of days, which is really cool. I've managed to go around and talk to a bunch of people about it and get a lot of love on it with the radio and all sorts of people, which has been wonderful. And yeah, it's overall been really, really lovely. So I'm happy with how it's all going.
Yeah, I've heard lots of feedback on this song, especially since putting our ads up for you. So I'm so excited for you because I've heard so many people talking about your music over the last while, and then to hear this single, it's been really good. I've heard some amazing feedback, which I was hoping that some of that had come back through to you personally. So that's really, really nice to hear.
Glad to hear that. Thank you. Thank you.
And also, being that you were able to, at the festival on the weekend, I would assume you got to play it live and tell the story behind it a bit live as well, which would have been a nice feeling for people to get to know it from that depth as well.
Yeah. There's something special about hearing the story behind a song before it's played. Yes. I find I always think it adds a lot to listening to the music, knowing maybe not the exact meaning behind it, or just knowing a vague idea of where it came from or who wrote it.
And I think that's I'm like you. I like to hear and understand a song from a deep perspective, and I think for me, when I go to a concert, that's why I like songwriter in the round type styles, because you get that. But it also it helps people connect from a different level and a different way. And I think that's the importance of going on radio and doing interviews, because people don't know that if they're not someone that's spent a lot of time around the music industry, they might not necessarily know that they can get that level of understanding and that different perception of music. So I think that's another thing that shows, how important it is to go on radio and go on shows and share that story for people to learn.
100%, and play live and meet people.
Exactly, meet people, absolutely. Speaking of meeting people, you are heading to Victoria. Tell us a little bit about your upcoming shows.
I am. I'm about to go over to Melbourne, Victoria, to play a concert in Carrum Downs. So if you're in that area near the 2nd of August and you want to see me and see Sarah Catania play some of my songs and hear my new album songs and some of the stories behind all that, it would be really wonderful to see you there. I'd be very appreciative. The tickets are all up and available on my Facebook event that I've got up and on my social medias, so you can get them now. And after that, I've got a big trip all the way over across the water to America, into Nashville. So that's going to be quite the journey for me.
Yes, and you're going for quite a while. So, what have you got shows booked? I'm sure you have songwriting sessions. Tell us, I guess that will take you to quite a way through to the end of the year almost. What have you got planned for your trip?
Well, there's a couple of festivals that I'm going to be going down and through. I'm I think I'm in California for one of the biggest jazz festivals, funnily
That
enough,
would be
open jazz
incredible.
festivals in the world, which will be really, really cool to check out. And when I'm in Nashville, of course, I'm gonna see Americana Fest, but
Yes.
I'm hoping to, on my trip, do a lot of co-writing and to meet a bunch of people. I know a lot of Australians who've gone overseas to America to live there, and Esther June, who I was playing the
Yes.
song from just before. She lives in Nashville, Tennessee, so being able to see her in person and maybe
Mm.
sing that song with her and go around
Mm.
Nashville will be really cool. I'll check out the Grand Ole Opry, of course. There's just
Yes.
so many things to do in that area and so many
Yeah.
social opportunities and so much music to be doing. It's really exciting. Lots of stuff going on.
Very exciting. And you're not going to be short of something to do while you're there. That's for
Yeah,
certain.
I'm sure.
Um, I know, I'm sure you'll be like, I don't think any musician in the world could go to Nashville and not soak in some of the inspiration and all the things that are around. And yeah, the thought of it being just music 24/7 in a city is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really, really good time.
I can't wait to hear when you come back and how it's all gone. But in the meantime, if we want to keep up to date with you and what you've got coming up and where your shows are, what is the best social media platform to watch from?
Um,
We saw
you can see me, you can catch me on all social media platforms under Hayden Phillis, and you can find my music on Spotify and all the streaming platforms under Hayden Phillis. So if you like my songs or you want to see me live, it'd be really, really great to have a look at all that.
Well, I hope, guys, that you are already subscribed. But if you're not, if you want to scan any of the QR codes from tonight or work your way back through the comments, the links are there for all social media and the link for, and yeah, and you already know, Teen Cat said, um, you've got so much coming up. I can't wait to see your story and hear the album and all of the rest of what's to come for you. It's really exciting.
Well, thank you very much. No, it's all a lot of fun. I'm having a good time being able to do all this music and working really hard at it. So it's glad to have this opportunity and have it all be going so
It's
well.
It's so exciting, and to see also your family being so involved in things, it makes it such a nice thing for you because you can all play a part in your story.
Yeah, exactly.
It's lovely. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I know we always say 20 minutes and we never do 20 minutes. I don't know why I say it. We're not good time tellers on this show. So thank you. We would love to have you back when you are back here or releasing or anything again. But please share with us your story while you're away. We would love to watch and see where you're at.
Well, I will absolutely love to come back with my next releases or whatever I have going on. And it's been wonderful for the chat. Thank you very much for having me and for letting me play some songs. It was really lovely. So hope you
We've
have a
had a
wonderful
great
afternoon and sleep for the night.
Yes. Go and have something to eat and have a nice relax for the evening. Get ready for your
Yeah.
next show. Recover from Tamworth because I bet you haven't slept much since you. Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you again. We will hopefully see you before the end of the year, but I want to wish you all the best for Nashville and everything that you've got coming between now and then.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful and cheers.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We will see you next week. I promise we'll be back next week. We'll see you all soon.